I think that preprint reviews and open reviews at journals can be very much interwoven together. Journals can take advantage of preprint reviews to help augment their decision making, and journals can also implement policies wherein their own reviews are posted on preprints. Several different journals are doing this, and in biomedical sciences, eLife is a great example of a journal that's moved to a preprint-centric model, where preprints are posted, and then after the journal performs its review, those reviews are posted on preprints too. So I think that there's a great way to provide interoperability between these two different publishing models, and that in itself is a huge motivator, an incentive, especially for early career researchers who are not usually directly invited to peer review. It's a way for them to participate in preprint review and thereby maybe get their name out there, get noticed by an editor, potentially contribute to the preprint review system as a way to contribute to the journal review system. As far as incentives, I think that right now a lot of journal review is operating on an honor system or altruism, and preprint review can benefit from that as long as the community is paying attention. Social media is playing a major role right now in conversations about preprints. And this is potentially a really good thing. It's a fast and rapid way for researchers to engage with each other. But I think there's also some challenges with using social media as a primary mechanism for scientific communication. First of all, it's prone to algorithmic distortion, where people who have a higher network or a stronger network are going to be favored in the dissemination of their work. There are Matthew effects, where the people who are already well known are going to have more people paying attention to them, just by virtue of the way that the platforms are organized. I think that new approaches to social media networks like Mastodon are definitely helping to change the way that these algorithms are in play. Nevertheless, I think there's other issues that we need to pay attention to as well. Declaring conflict of interest, making sure that these conversations are more permanent. Social media can play a large role, but maybe we can take what we've learned from what works in social media, that is rapid communication and a desire to network, to help design new systems of communication and dialogue that are better suited to science. I think that artificial intelligence is a major development that can potentially have a lot of benefits for researchers, in the sense that it can help to enable and scale up machine translation to help preprints and other articles be more available to researchers all around the world, regardless of language. And furthermore, it can also provide services like copy editing that might not be accessible to everyone. Preprints are not unique in probably being used for training these models, but obviously caution is needed as we think about how AI is going to play a role in the future. And I think the biggest concern that many people are thinking about is how to be able to distinguish research that a human has really thought carefully and earnestly, from a paper that is generated by AI. And so I do think that preprint servers have, by their nature, a limited capacity to screen papers prior to being posted. I think that this means that independent services and third-party services could potentially play a role in helping detect and label papers that are not necessarily intellectually sound. So as we move forward into the future, I think a system of curation and review and commenting on preprints, both by automated tools and by humans, is going to become even more important. Social media is a fantastic way to get more attention, visibility, and feedback on papers. But because not everyone looking at a tweet or a post understands how preprints work in the context of scholarly communication, it can be really helpful to make sure that preprints are clearly labeled as such. Even though servers are offering banners that indicate that a manuscript has not yet been peer-reviewed, I think it's great practice to label a social media post with the word preprint, so that at least people can look up what that means as they are reading and browsing. I think more people now are becoming aware of what a preprint is, but it's helpful to be able to share that up front and be really transparent. For ASAPbio, it's incredibly inspiring to celebrate a quarter of a century of SciELO, because it means that this kind of collective action across different countries, across many different journals, across many different editorial teams is possible. And I think that this is the kind of change that we need to advance scholarly communication all around the world. ASAPbio, we are really an international organization, but we're focused mainly in the United States. We're headquartered in the United States, and most of our communication is within the US and Europe, although we're trying to broaden that. So being able to see this incredible model at SciELO really inspires us, and it's a wonderful opportunity to be a part of this conversation.